All right, algebra classes, welcome to week 2 of e-learning. I have some important announcements that we need to talk about before we get started. This applies to everybody. Make sure that you are saying here on the attendance discussion. If you're not saying here on the attendance discussion, I'm not counting you present. We need to get in the habit of doing that and answering all parts of that e-learning day. Second, I would like for you all to try to upload your work, like the picture of your work, on Schoology. I want you all to try to figure that out. It's a little bit easier for me to organize things in that case if they're all on Schoology. If you absolutely can't get it to upload on Schoology on that discussion, then go ahead and email it to me, and that's fine. But I really want to try to get everything in order there because it's just easier to keep track of it all. Something else that applies to everybody. Tomorrow for your e-learning, we will be taking a quiz. It will be a multiple choice quiz on there, on Schoology. You will have to answer all the questions, submit it, and underneath the quiz and e-learning for tomorrow will be another discussion board for attendance and then another discussion board for your homework assignment. Or here I say homework assignment, I mean your quiz work. So you're going to take the quiz on Schoology, submit it, and then you will go to where it says submit work for quiz, and you will submit your work on there as well. Because I don't want to make you all type all your work. It's too much. But if you don't submit the work, then you don't get any points on your quiz. All right, this does not apply to everybody, but it applies to a certain percentage of us. I understand that it's difficult to learn from videos. I understand that it's a lot different than being in person. But the good thing about videos is you can watch them a million times. It's the exact same thing that I would be teaching you in class. I'm just not there to give you immediate feedback. Quit using Photomath. Quit using whatever other apps there are. I don't even know. But you've got to quit using the Photomath and do it yourself. There are so many kids that are using it as a way to do the homework for them, but it's a tool to check your work. And I also know that you are not doing it yourself because the way that I'm teaching you in the videos is not the way that Photomath does it. So I know if you're actually doing what the videos say. You need to look at the videos. You need to try to practice the skill. And I just really want you all to learn this because next year in Algebra 2, if you don't know how to factor, you're going to be really far behind everybody else. So please do this for me, okay? This is one of the last 3 skills that we need to know for Algebra 2, all right? So today I'm going to do a few more practice problems. A few of us are still struggling on reducing before we bottoms up, and then I'll have 5 homework problems again tonight. All right, so remember when we factor, okay? We're doing slide, A times C, and then we're going to find 2 numbers that multiply to the AC but add to the B. Then we're going to divide by the A, reduce if you have to, and that's where a lot of us are messing up. We're not reducing, okay? Then bottoms up that denominator. So let's look at this first one. My child's been coloring all over this board. It's a mess. All right, so 2x squared plus 13x plus 6. Check for greatest common factor first. 2, 13, 6. Are those 3 numbers divisible by the same number? No. None of 13 is a prime number, so it's not divisible by anything but itself. All right, so now I'm going to do the slide. So slide, A times C. So 2 times 6 is 12. So I'm multiplying to 12, but I'm adding to 13. So let's find some numbers that multiply to 12. And remember, they're same sign, both positive. 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Okay, start adding those together. 1 plus 12, that's 13. Bingo. So that's x plus 1 and x plus 12. Now that's the slide. Now we're going to divide by A. So A is 2, so I'm going to divide by 2. And then I'm going to reduce if I can. 1 over 2 does not reduce. So I can bottoms up. So 2x plus 1. 12 divided by 2. 12 divided by 2, that's 6. And that's x plus 6. And then I would be done. All right, let's do another one. Okay, let's do 12x squared plus 1x minus 6. All right, so check for a greatest common factor. 12, 1, and 6. 1's not divisible with anything other than itself. All right, different signs because of that negative 6. So I'm going to slide 12 times negative 6. So that's negative 72. So I'm multiplying to negative 72, but I'm adding to 1. So bigger one's going to be positive. So negative 1 and 72. Negative 2 and 36. Negative 3 and 24. Negative 4 and, what's that, 18. Negative 6 and 12. 7 didn't go in there. Negative 8 and 9. Those are all the numbers that multiply to negative 72. Negative 1 plus 72 is 71. Negative 2 plus 36 is 34. Keep adding them together. Negative 8 plus 9 is 1. So now I'm going to do negative 8, so x minus 8, and x plus 9. And looking at your all's homework, you all get that part, which is great. Here's where it goes wrong, so pay attention. You're going to divide by 12, because that's the a. Okay? Now, a lot of you all are just bottomsing up there. You can't bottoms up until you reduce the fraction. So take that 8/12, reduce it, just like you do a regular fraction. 8 and 12 are both reducible by 4. So this is going to be 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Then I can bottoms up that 3. Now that 8/12 is reduced to 2/3. Bottoms up that 3, so that's 3x minus 2. If you have trouble reducing, use your calculator. Take 8 divided by 12, hit enter, then hit the second PRB to change it back to a fraction. That's how I got 2/3. Here, 9/12. 9/12 reduces as well. 9 and 12 are both reducible by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now that I've reduced 9/12 to 3/4, bottoms up that 4. So that's 4x plus 3. Okay? All right, let's do another one. Remember, you can always pause, rewind, go back, listen to it again. All right, so 6x squared plus 7x minus 5. All right, so here we go. Let's check. 6, 7, 5, no GCF. Negative 5, different signs. Slide. 6 times negative 5. That's negative 30. So I'm multiplying to negative 30, but adding to 7. So the bigger one's going to be positive because b is positive. So negative 1 and 30. Negative 2 and 15. Negative 3 and 10. 4 doesn't go in there. Negative 5 and 6. Negative 1 plus 30 is 29. Negative 2 plus 15 is 13. Negative 3 plus 10, 7. Bingo. Put them in fractions. X minus 3, x plus 10, because you chose negative 3 and positive 10. Now you're going to divide by a. We slide, divide by 6, and then reduce. So 3, 6. 3, 6 reduces to 1/2. After you reduce it, bottoms up that denominator. So that's 2x minus 1. 10, 6 reduces by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Bottoms up that 3, and that's 3x plus 5. And I have noticed on a homework that a few of you all are using your calculator to reduce, then you're leaving it as a decimal. It can't be a decimal. It's a reduced fraction because you have to bottoms up the denominator. So leave that as a denominator. All right, last one for the video. All right. So 6x squared plus 21x minus 12. All right, so standard form. Ooh, can't really see that 6, can you? Okay. 6, 21, and 12. Is there a greatest common factor? This time there is. 6, 21, and 12. 3. Let's try 3. So I'm going to divide out a 3 because it does have a greatest common factor. So 6 divided by 3, that's 2x squared. 21 divided by 3, that's 7x. 12 divided by 3, that's 4. And 2, 7, and 4 don't have any other GCF, so that's it. So now I'm going to factor just this right there. Ignore this 3 and slide divide bottoms up just what's in the parentheses, okay? All right, so different signs. So 2 times -4. The marker's running out. So what multiplies to -8 but adds to +7? So -1 and 8, -2 and 4, that's it. Which one adds to 7? -1 and 8. So x minus 1, x plus 8. So I chose -1 and +8. And then I'm going to divide by a. Use the a that's in the parentheses. You are factoring what's in the parentheses. So I divide by 2. 1 divided by 2 is not a whole number. 1/2 doesn't reduce, so I'm able to bottoms up. So that's 2x minus 1. 8 divided by 2, that's 4. Nothing to bottoms up, so that's x plus 4. Now, the only thing different about this one is that your answer also has to include that GCF that you took out. So put that 3 in the front, and you are done. Go back and watch the videos from last week. They're still in the file folders. Watch this video again if you need to. But your quiz tomorrow is a pretty good grade, and I am going to grade your work. You will have to submit your work, or you get a 0. All right? All right, so now go ahead and do your homework assignment, and we'll go from there. Remember, email me. We'll set up a Zoom call, whatever you need to get that extra help. Adios.